But let's talk about WeTransfer. How did that start?
Right, so I didn't start it, right? So there were two guys, Bas Beerens and Nalden, or Ronald Hans, and they both came from the creative sector. So Nalden was a blogger. So if you think back, this is 2009. Blogging was a pretty big deal back then, right? So Mashable, Casey Neistat, all those sort of vloggers, early vloggers were a big deal. Yeah, no, they don't really exist anymore, right? The bloggers don't really aren't around anymore. They all disappeared. But back then it was a pretty big thing, and certainly in the Netherlands, Nalden was the biggest blogger. And Bas had an agency, and they basically were exploring building tools that an agency could use that would, be better than FTP or better than You Send It. And this is quite a long time ago, right? It's 11 years now. But if any of you can remember, any of you watching, Rapid Share, Mega Upload, You Send It, those were the guys that were sort of dominating the space. And it was pretty much all about piracy and porn. And their business model was to basically spread illegal content, and then they sell ads or sell you premium services on the back of it. And what Bas and Nalden decided was that they wanted to do something a little bit simpler. And Nalden had this really beautiful blog that had full screen images in the background, and Bas had an agency that could make it. So together they started on that journey. And then I came along. That's in the beginning of 2010. And basically since then have been doing it ever since. And we had just a ton of luck. Honestly, there's so many things we could say that we did well, or was really intelligent or fantastically entrepreneurial. But in 2010, you didn't have to spend a single penny on Facebook to build a community. You could just open up a page, invite some friends invited friends, and before you know it, you've got 500,000 followers on Facebook, or on Twitter, or on or so much more easily build up search equity on Google. And you can't do that today. All of it costs money. And back in 2010, we had none, right? There was zero cash. We hadn't raised any money. We weren't going through funding rounds or anything. So we had an incredible amount of luck that the market was just there and you could take it. We had a positioning that was interesting because it was really for creatives by creatives. And I think people got that, and they could feel that it was different than the competition. And then, we had one of the most influential people in the Netherlands. So it picked up really fast in the Netherlands. We slowly built out a company very different than most other people in tech. And at that time, it was a great frustration, but actually looking back on it, it was the greatest gift I think that we ever had. That we just took time and built up trust along the way. So
whose idea was it to really make it a palette, a creative space, a creative hub?
I give full credit to Nalden really for that, because he had just a really good eye for aesthetics, right? I mean, it was his blog that was really inspiration for WeTransfer. By the time I'd come along, a lot of the original sort of concepting had long been done, and it was already looking great, right? The only difference that I think I really brought to it was that I wasn't Dutch, right? I was English in Holland. I had an agency. We had clients all over the world. So immediately we started selling it to different countries and to different markets, and bringing in different creators, and then really honed in on this concept of giving away 30% of all the ad space we had in the background to support the sort of friends and family that that we had. That was just karma, I think. If you're a musician and you're just starting out, or you've been doing music for 10 years, it's super hard to get your stuff listened to. It's super difficult to get recognition, to have traffic. And in the early days of WeTransfer, we couldn't sell all the ad space. It's not that we gave it all away because we really wanted to be super philanthropists. We couldn't sell it. We wanted it to look great. We had friends that had no traffic, so we're like, Christ, take it. We can't do anything with it. Let's see, how much traffic we can bring to your website. And a great piece of satisfaction for us came from crashing someone's website, because we suddenly given them so much traffic they've never ever seen anything like it. And that's pretty cool, right? If you're an artist and for years you've been plowing at something and no one's seen it and they haven't heard it, and then suddenly a spotlight is put onto that piece of work that you've been working on. I think it's magic. It's nice.